Everyone hates Roblox for this new update, people are angry at this Roblox dev, and more insane news today. So if you're new, please subscribe. Help us reach 400,000 subs. Thank you, and let's get into it. And firstly, let's start with the Roblox update making everyone pretty angry. And this update we actually got revealed like a while ago through leaks and stuff, but now it's officially out and we got all the information and it's not looking too good. Blockstream's here tweet out saying that starting today, all plugins on the Roblox Creator Store must be sold and purchased using real-world currency rather than Robux. If you create and sell plugins, please ensure you set up a seller account to keep your products on sale. So yeah, it's actually pretty insane. And there's way more to this update. Like, we already knew this information a while ago, like I said, but there's a bunch of stuff to this update that make it pretty bad. I mean, firstly, just this update in general is pretty controversial. A lot of people, they can't spend real money on plugins and stuff like that, and plugins are very expensive. So the fact that it has to cost real money now is pretty crazy. And that's also another thing. This update isn't like an optional thing. If you want to sell a plugin now, which most plugins that are good are, cost Robux, they can't be sold for Robux anymore. It's not an optional thing. If you're selling a plugin, it has to be for real money. You can't put it up for like 10 Robux anymore or whatever, which is pretty awful because some of the best plugins are paid. And they were fairly cheap Robux wise, but now they're gonna have to cost real money. And to a lot of people who can't spend real money on the platform, like little kids who are trying to be developers and stuff like that, it's pretty bad. And this update only gets worse. Because not only just that, the way the payments work and stuff, a lot of the plugins stuff like that are actually gonna be banned in some countries. The Brazilian RTC here tweeted out saying that, so Brazilian players will no longer be able to purchase or sell plugins because Stripe's cross-border payments are not available here. Incredible that Roblox is taking such an important feature away from the country with the second largest number of developers and players. Which is true, Brazil has a massive Roblox audience, and it seems like the payment service that Roblox uses for this isn't supported in Brazil, which is actually pretty insane. And as we can see here, a lot of people when they go to buy plugins now, it'll say this: credits or purchases are not currently supported in your country. So yeah, it's just pretty insane. Not only is this update really bad because of the whole, you have to pay real money thing, but millions of people and players and developers can't even buy it because it's not supported in their country and they have no other option, which is pretty awful and pretty terrible. And somehow it still gets worse from here. Because here's the thing, there's one good thing and one bad thing about this left. The bad thing being, a lot of people are worried about the pricing and wondering like how cheap can they make it, and the prices have to be a minimum of $5 and a maximum of $250. So I mean, yeah, kind of bad, $5 minimum, but I guess I can see why. But on the bright side, after all this, they say here that you can still make items free or plugins free. So on the bright side, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be getting rid of free plugins, which I know a lot of people are worried about. But like I mentioned at the start of this video, all the most popular plugins and some of the best plugins you can get are priced. They're not going to make them free probably. So at least you do have some options, but if you want the actual good plugins, you're probably going to have to spend real money now, which a lot of people can't even do because it's banned in their country, and a lot of people just don't have access to spending money like that on Roblox. And in general, this is a very controversial Roblox update, and a lot of people are very angry at Roblox right now. People are angry just at the update in general. People are angry that it's not optional. People are angry because it's not available in their country. And this update caused so much drama. It's one of the most controversial updates we've seen in a while. With that being said though, there are some people saying this is a good update because on the bright side, if you do think about it, I think developers do make more money like this, but obviously all the negatives kind of overweigh the positives, it seems like. It might be better on the developer side of things, but player wise, it's not looking too good. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments though, because it's a pretty controversial update. But anyways, with that being said, our next story of Roblox still being very broken. So as I'm sure we're all aware, over the past like 2 weeks, Roblox Mobile has completely broken, and for some reason, whenever people try to play, it either gets stuck in loading or just keeps saying no network error when they have perfect Wi-Fi. And it's been a big issue going on in these past few days, and still, even after all this, it seems that it's still broken. I've seen some people saying that it's coming back for them, and I think slowly it is coming back potentially, but as we can see here, posts literally made just recently are saying they still get this error right here. And if you check the status Roblox page, it does say active incident, but it is green, so their own status page is broken. I guess they didn't even know what's going on. And as you can see, the issue is still going on, but it might be getting better. And also weirdly enough, there seems to be more issues beyond that. As you can see here, there's like issues going on with voice chat and stuff like that. And there's still issues going on with like the whole VNOM server thing. It's really weird what's going on right now, and people still can't play Roblox. But like I mentioned, I've seen some people saying that it is slowly coming back, hopefully. So hopefully soon, people can play Roblox properly, but it's still pretty broken right now. And anyways, with that being said, our next story of something pretty depressing that happened on Roblox recently. So if you guys remember for the hunt event, every day they release a new limited item. And some of the items were limited time, and some of the items actually ended up being limited. And the items that they guaranteed to go limited obviously blew up in the community, and they went super viral. But now, after the hunt event ended, all these items are completely dead, and whoever bought them cannot sell them for a profit. As we can see here, the Volt Commando sold for like 13,000 Robux, so people are not making a profit on it at all. And not only just that, the wings that also went limited are selling for like 12,000 Robux right now. So yeah, it's just pretty depressing, I guess, and pretty bad on Roblox's end, because all these items kind of failed, and whoever bought them lost a bunch of Robux from this because they're not making a profit at all. Which honestly, on one hand, is kind of funny. You know, people are hyping these items up like crazy, saying they're guaranteed to go limited, and now they're selling for, you know, super cheap and way under the price. But on the other hand, I do feel kind of bad because a lot of people spent all their Robux being like, oh, it seems like guaranteed limited, I can guarantee get a profit potentially, but it's not looking too good, and it's only getting worse over time. I think if you sold it around when the hunt event was actually going on, you could sell it for not even a profit, but a little under, so you still made most of your Robux back. But now it seems like people who are waiting on the item is only going more down, so that's pretty unfortunate. And in general, the whole hunt, like limited item thing, I feel like was kind of just a failure. Like as we can see here, it didn't really work out. And anyways, with that being said, let's get our next story of a Roblox developer getting a bunch of hate right now, being Pet Simulator 99 and Preston. So over the past few like week or so, the game's been getting a bunch of hate, and a lot of people have been like calling them out and stuff like that. And they actually ended up responding. Preston here ended up making a whole response just saying that, been seeing lots of negativity lately about 99 on X, Reddit, etc. Us supposedly doing things, random balancing, nerfing game passes, silent changes, etc. These things are not true. We love our game and always do our best to make everyone happy. Remember, these people are not us. Unless we say it, take it with a big grain of salt. And then he made another response to just people saying he does everything for money. Now take that how you will. I know a lot of people hate Preston and think he always lies, so I mean, interpret that statement how you will. But in general, with that being said, Preston was getting a lot of hate recently. Like for example, a few days ago on Twitter, there's like an article made on like headline of Twitter, which was just saying that the Pet Simulator update flopped, which is kind of crazy. And it was literally like trending, and it popped up on a bunch of people's Twitter, which is kind of crazy. So that's pretty bad on them. And in general, with that being said, a lot of people are saying that the game's kind of flopped and dying. Whereas we can see here, they have lost like daily players. They're down to like 80,000 players a day, but that is still pretty relatively good. And in general, with like the new updates and stuff, as we can see here, it's going up, and they still do average a bunch of players. So I feel like the game's not really that dead, but I feel like no one really talks about it anymore. I definitely wouldn't say it's dead though, but I feel like in the community sense of things, like no one talks about it anymore. Maybe that's just me, but besides that, a lot of people have been hating on the game. You know, like I said, there's been articles made saying that the game's flopping and stuff like that. And it got so bad that they had to respond. But with that being said, our next story is some more developer drama, and this one's kind of dumb in my opinion. So recently Hasbro released a new Roblox game that's been going kind of viral in the community called Player RNG. And basically how it works is just that you sit there in the game, roll a dice, and depending on a bunch of factors, you get a random Roblox player. It can literally be any Roblox player. And depending on like their account age, if they are verified, how expensive their profile is, and just a bunch of other factors, they'll either be a super uncommon or super rare person, and you're trying to collect the rarest person. That's basically all it is. It's a pretty fun concept, and a lot of people have been enjoying the game, but it's actually been met with some drama. The first thing I've seen is a lot of people calling him out for endorsing like gambling, which I can see where they're coming from. It definitely has gambling principles, but the whole thing of gambling is you putting Robux in and stuff like that. And this game is completely free. You can spin for free and everything like that, and you're not putting any Robux in, so it's not really gambling. I guess it has gambling aspects, but it's not like he's making you pay to spin every time. It's completely free, so I think that argument is kind of dumb. And also with that, there's this whole drama going around where some people said that like he was stealing people's assets and characters and IDs and stuff, which is just like the dumbest thing, because all this is public information. Like some people are getting mad that they're stealing like their avatars and like their username and stuff like that, but that's all public information. You can check this for any Roblox user. So in general, just some dumb drama. A lot of people have been hating on this game recently, and I feel like most of the hate is just dumb in my opinion. The game is not making you pay any Robux, so it's not really gambling. And they're not stealing any information, it's all public information. So in general, I feel like the game's pretty harmless. And in general, besides that, the game's been going pretty viral. A lot of people have been enjoying it. And it seems like Hasbro might do more updates in the future because the game's actually doing really well. I tried it out a little bit, and it actually seems pretty fun. Just like a super simple game. Try to collect the best thing. It's not that hard. And I don't think it's that bad. I think all the hate's kind of dumb. And with that being said, if you enjoyed, check this video to find out why Roblox isn't safe right now and a massive scam going around. And I'll see you in the next one.